Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Astral Stew.
My head is exploding, Josh, just to be in the same Zoom room with you two.
And random noise that I should have added in on top of that to make it a trio, but I don't got it in me.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the. I mean, it's the holiday season. Everybody is running around frantically, trying to do whatever people do in the holiday season. Because everybody's different. Everybody treats the holidays differently.
I mean, you guys are watching this after the holidays, but you know, people are still frantic.
Oh, this won't be
That's
timely then. I was going to say we narrowly avoided an asteroid as well, right? Isn't it on its way to Venus now?
Oh, so the other night I saw a meteorite enter the atmosphere. It was freaking amazing.
I saw one. I actually saw one as well.
Maybe Did you both wish upon the same star?
But I was out there. I was just out there, and I was like, somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight. And I was thinking of Josh, and I was hoping we were thinking underneath the same bright star, and boom,
there it was.
That just describes my last night.
Boom, boom goes the dynamite.
But I did legit see one though, Josh. I'm not.
Yeah, I did.
joking.
I'm trying to think what night that was. It was like 2 nights ago when I saw it.
Oh, mine was last night. So it took that long to get across the country.
Yeah. But no, there is like a meteor shower that's peaking this weekend.
Yeah, there's supposed to be. I think it said something like 120 meteorites going to be hitting.
It's like the Gemini croquettes.
Jiminy croquettes, and of course the comet that's here that's only shows up like every 10,000 years or whatever.
Yep, I think it's called Planet X. Is what? Yeah.
That is not Planet X.
No, that's
anyways. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and thank you all for continuing to tune in and watch us talk about the crazy stuff that we talk about. So. I have an interesting topic. I think it's interesting. You all may not. It does not involve Christianity, although I'm sure Stefan will work its way into it. And
see how it's now it's my thing.
No, it's always been your thing, and it always gets blamed on me. Anyways, so was listening to a book recently, and she was talking about how companies will buy revolutionary patents and then bury them because they compete with whatever they're currently trying to put to market.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Edison. This has been going on since Edison's day.
Wait, so say that again. So
like let's say in
the 80s, somebody came out with a patent for digital cameras.
Okay.
But in the 80s, Polaroid was killing it. So they buy the patent for the digital camera.
Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
It because they don't want to have it out there in the market.
I thought you were saying that like Polaroid created a digital camera and then they buried it because they were like, oh, it's going to kill the business we have right now. Okay, that makes more sense.
So it's basically like it's a patent that will be monetized at some point in time in the future should it be able to make it work. But at the time, it wasn't worth cross competition. So how does this work into Astral Stew?
I want a patent. Like I would just like to be able to a person that says I have a patent in the office.
I like Patton Oswalt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a good
patent.
patent.
And Dick Van Patten.
I like Dick Van Dyke. So, anyways, how
Dick
this
York.
fits into Astral
Dick
Stew?
Sergeant York. What do we think?
I was a Jerry Van Dyke guy, so
all those different. If you go out to Google Patents, and if nobody has, I highly recommend it. Go out to Google Patents, type in hyperdrive, type in space-time travel, type in da-da-da, and there are all these patents. There's the Navy has patents for the black triangle shaped craft, the whole kit and caboodle. My question is, or my thought is, when does it become? This kind of gets into like capitalism, but when does it become an issue when there are patented technologies that could significantly better us as a species, the planet, everything else, but companies buy them and sit on them because it would impact their bottom line. And like clean energy, for example, a company may have patented a device that would produce clean energy. Another company, an oil company, buys it, sits on it because they don't want to affect oil and gas prices.
Well, then I guess that it's on the schmuck that sold his patent rights to the oil industry, knowing that he was creating something to build a better environment. So poo on you, sir, for choosing money over life.
So if you invented a recipe or something for clean energy and an oil company offered you $1 million right now, would you take it?
If what?
If you invented a recipe or whatever you want to call it.
A recipe, okay.
A formula for clean energy. And Exxon comes along and they offer you $1 million for it today. No questions asked. Would you take it?
Hell no.
Bullshit.
No, there's no way. If I legit discovered clean energy and it was going to revolutionize the entire world, hell yeah, I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to work with people like Musk or somebody else that's going to be into clean energy and get them.
What you got though. Like what about people that have put patents that didn't quite know what they had?
Yeah.
That's different. Give me $1 million. I don't know what I got.
But what if you don't know what's clean energy?
That's what I'm saying. If I don't know what I have, give me $1 million because oops, my bad. I didn't really know what I stumbled upon. But if I know what I have consciously, I can't do it.
Okay, well, so I would like to shift the blame more towards the company that buys the clean energy, or even doesn't know what the schmuck has, identifies it as clean energy and buys it and sits on it, because that's what I'm trying to get to is like,
but see,
when does
I'm mad at you for shopping at that gas station when you know that that's what they're doing.
Or
it's a never-ending chain of
where am I going to get my gas, Santosh?
Well, exactly. Where's the poor person going to get the next fucking meal?
Ride your bike. Get down, tell you.
So, yeah, I mean, basically, so we are never going to advance as a civilization so long as there are people who have $300 billion to their name that could just go buy a patent.
100% this world will always be owned by the rich. It has always been that way, and it will always be that way until rich stop being a thing. And even then it'll go from being rich to having power. I mean, it's like whoever has the most power.
Yeah. Well, knowledge is power. So if I own a library, does that make me more powerful?
I don't know, because if there's no money there, you don't own anything.
Well, that's true. Time is money at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
But time is an illusion, and we're breaking through it finally.
Yep. All right. So that was my.
I'm still on this, man. So, I mean, what was your question? Was there even a question, or were you just making a blanket statement?
Now he's in the conversation.
The question is, when do we as humanity, like, should there be some sort of a public coalition or something that's formed that's like stops the corporations from breaking technology patents?
Now, Josh, that's socialism. You're getting too close to communism. I don't know. I mean, yes, I think there should be a freaking regulatory thing for everything, but I'm extremely liberal. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of capitalism. I think it hurts us, but this isn't a political show, but it's but I don't want to take it down.
I
don't know but yeah, you're right. It sucks. But to be honest with you, the entire world's not a capitalist society either. And
True.
So just because you have the patent can be bought here in the United States doesn't mean it can be bought that same way in Denmark.
True. Also, don't know. Like, I'm not a big patent law person, but like, I think that there's like, if you register a patent with the U.S. Patent Office, it only protects the patent in the U.S. Right? So you could.
That's why China is able to make all these.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, would be nothing stopping you, I guess, if you had a revolutionary technology, taking it somewhere else, Denmark or Norway. Norwegians are really cutting edge. It's because all that God DNA over there. So I mean,
wait, are we transitioning topics? Like we're talking about Norway?
I didn't know that you had a favorite for the tall whites, Josh.
Look who's the hook right
I know
here.
we barely put up with the one we got.
yeah.
Could
Dude
you
wearing a
imagine
white
being
shirt
abducted
after
by
Labor
a
Day.
ship full of Steffens?
I can. That's one of my fantasies.
No, it's not because it doesn't involve Superman.
If there was, y'all remember that sexual education cartoon? Did y'all ever have to watch that? Where it's like, the sperm would literally swim in a lap pool to get to the one egg that was standing.
No,
Y'all not
I went to Catholic school. They didn't show us anything.
So I just imagine that, like, if Stefan had a reproductive cartoon, it would be a boat full of Steffens rowing in a Viking ship.
Row.
Anyways, well, we're way off topic tonight.
And that's how you came to be, Hazel.
Yeah.
That's
So, another question: do you all think that there are underwater UFOs?
You called it, Stefan.
I looked right at your background and I knew we were going to be talking about
Actually,
underwater UFOs, UFO alien bases. Yes, 100%. Yes, I do. End of topic.
Do you feel like if we talk about how much pop culture we think is maybe a mechanism for delivering some level of disclosure, look at movies like The Abyss and things like that. I mean, The Abyss was like, happy-go-lucky aliens that really just wanted to be left alone, but then they had to go and save a pesky human. So, but I mean, I don't know. It's just the idea of things that may be living underwater. The fact that Lou Elizondo, one of his 5 criteria is that they transition mediums, right? So they start in the air, they go into the water, they go into the ground, they go into whatever, they go into space. So, and so many of them have been documented flying above and going under the water. So, do you think they just go down there to hide, or they come back out, or there's actually civilizations underwater? I
mean, Atlantis. I mean, right? What if these again are they aliens? Right? You just said UFOs, so it's like, could they be in our advanced lost civilizations?
Right.
Lemuria, Mu, right. Atlantis, things like that. Are they just those? Are they just tall Steffens under there? In these, or is it like you say, is it extraterrestrials coming down and hiding or getting out of the limelight, so to speak?
It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, it could be any or none.
Well, I mean, it could be that these ancient peoples have established bases under the water, and they're established trade between extraterrestrial races that come and go via the water, right? So
extraplanetary marketplace going on under the water. So I'm all for it.
Oh, I'm totally down for that. It's nothing but squid for sale, though. It's really awkward.
Wouldn't it be funny if all of the underwater markets were under bridges, and that's where the myth of the troll came from?
Or under a bridge, like that's how you get to these places. The gateway, like that's how you got to pay the troll toll.
Pay the toll. That's what I was going to say. Pay the troll toll.
But yeah,
if you pay the troll toll, then you get this boy's soul. Anyways, underwater, yeah. Kelp,
the kelp forest,
kelp forest fuel.
But no, one more kind of note on that. I do think it's interesting that our governments and NASA and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you look at the last 8-9 years, our attention have really shifted back to the stars. There are still obviously organizations and universities and foundations and stuff that are doing oceanic studies, but I think the last percentage that I saw was that like 1% of our oceans have been explored. So Obviously, most people, I guess, look to be more interested in what's in space versus what's still yet to be discovered on our own planet.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's tricky. It's like 1% is such a small number. And so like I've always wondered this, like when they say 1%, do they mean the surface of the ocean, right? And I mean like the ground surface, not the water surface, or do they mean the whole ocean, right? Because
I think they mean like in its entirety.
Okay, so because I feel like we've seen more of the ocean, because that's where likely a base is going to be, is either on the surface or under it or something like that. It's not just going to hide at like 50
deep
feet.
in a trench.
Right, or in a trench, exactly,
Yeah.
the trenches.
Well, but you have to think that, I mean, there's a lot of, well, number one, way far down, right, on the ocean floor, there's no sunlight. There's no sunlight that gets through. And it's, from what we've seen of the videos that have been taken of the ocean floor, it's rather chaotic. There's volcanoes and gaseous vents and all kinds of stuff that are constantly
Methane
happening.
lakes or something like that, isn't that under there? The one that
Yeah,
makes it look
it's
like
like-
water under the water?
It's like me in the tub after a burrito.
Yeah, that's an image I didn't need. So why wouldn't you be more like, 10,000 feet down as opposed to all the way down?
Yeah, I don't know. Putting it like that, I guess, is a little bit different. But even then, I mean, I don't know. You always think if there's some sort of base, especially if it ties to Hollow Earth, it's going to be where there's rocky crevices, where there can be openings or something like that. That it's all connected in that regards. But then again, I mean, I don't want to go super sci-fi here, but I mean, are we ruling out cloaking devices, right? I mean, could these things just be cloaked? Sitting at the bottom of the trench, and
for that matter, could
Or
they
in
be
the sky.
cloaked sitting on top of the water?
right. Or yeah, absolutely that.
With cloaking technology, they can be anywhere.
Right.
I mean, you look at that thing that you saw in my backyard that was like the black spot that moved across the sky. I mean, that was obviously something where it was meant to not be seen. And so, I mean, when you think about how vast the ocean is, and you have a ship that, pretty much goes back and forth the same path or route every single time. And that's what we have now. We pretty much have shipping lanes, right?
Yeah, we
So
do. We
all-
have shipping routes.
All of our ships follow the same routes every single time. We don't really explore outside of those routes. Is that on purpose? Do they not want to interact with things that have been discovered and we're decided to leave alone?
Yeah, it makes you wonder what mariners know that they're not saying.
Yeah. Also makes you want, I mean, I think it's been explained away as like folklore and all that kind of stuff. Makes you wonder about all those early maps with like mermaids and sea creatures drawn on them too. So
We know that that's just a manatee.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, have you ever tried to draw a manatee?
you just
It always ends up looking like Sophia Loren every
Right?
time.
Like a classic pinup girl. Every time
Cla-
I dare you, try it now.
For some reason, whenever you draw a manatee, this fat, nasty creature turns out looking hot as balls.
Don't you dare call manatees nasty.
Oh, sorry.
That's rude.
what does the manatee do actually? Is it
Whatever the fuck it wants.
Swims and eats and sleeps. And did you know the female is called a womanatee?
no, it's not.
It should be.
Go edit Wikipedia.
It should be.
So anyways,
Wikipedia. Okay, I need a chocolate.
Do you so do you
Like-
think I kind of want to hit back on Atlantis, okay? So let's hit back that if it was already there, I mean, like, how often have we taken something and built over the top of it, built over the top of it, built over the top of it, right? I mean, because if they were advanced then, imagine how advanced they would be now.
So you're
Well-
going on the New York tunnel system
well,
as a base idea? How the
Sure.
city was just built in layers on top of itself?
Yep.
Yeah, or you look at the Temple of the Mount,
yep.
built upon to fit the needs of whatever.
I mean, you look at Venice. I mean, it just keeps getting raised up and raised up as ocean levels raise. They just continue to raise Venice. So, that's a good analogy. And the question I would have is Egypt Atlantis? Because
we had talked about this before. I don't remember which show. Maybe it was Unhinged, but we had talked about the Sphinx being way older than people realize.
And the fact that it's got water erosion, not wind erosion.
Yeah, it has water erosion.
And you go back to Pangea, a lot of the Sahara Desert was an inland sea.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have had Egypt, would have been in the middle, or not all of Egypt, but, a lot of Egypt would have been in the middle of an inland sea.
Well, and it's interesting because if you pay attention to the news, if you notice that in the last few years, we keep finding older and older and older bones or handprints or footprints of humanity. Mm-hmm. It is stretching back further and further than they thought existed. Mm-hmm. We're finding more and more and more. And it's if our own personal humanity is going back further than we thought, what about someone else's?
Here's what I've been thinking about, that ties into that, and it's really been bothering me, is that when we're looking backwards for evidence of advanced civilization, right? Sorry, I'm chewing my chocolate at the same time.
It's okay. I got some chocolate on my eat too. Got some Merci chocolate.
I really apologize about that. Okay, what was I saying?
You look at civilizations back in time,
and we're looking for evidence, but it's through the bias of our wasteful, capitalist dumbasses. It's there is no plastic type housing or things like that. Think about technology today and where it's going. Zero carbon footprint is what we're after as a civilized species. And so you don't think that the last time our species was civilized, we didn't think also, hey, let's integrate our tech more with the world around us.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that too, where we said biodegradable.
Bioengineering, right, is kind of really the future of things. Grow a computer as opposed to build a computer, which is what we are, by the way, computers. That's all we are. Anyways,
but we talked about that. I think in the I don't know where we talked about it. But we had talked about it. If there was a civilization that indeed left the earth,
right?
People are well, where is the stuff that they left behind? Blah, blah. And we're what if it was made from biodegradable things and it was meant to erode over time?
Yep.
Because we have planned obsolescence in everything. So why couldn't it be for a higher purpose than just selling more copies?
Yeah,
it'll be this will last this long and then it'll degrade.
I remember in my honors biology class, I told my teacher that I believed that cavemen and dinosaurs lived together just to piss her off. And she was yelling at me and telling me all this stuff. And I said, I brought up the Flintstones, and she laughed at that. And she goes, what about why don't we have bones that go back that far? I said, all the dinosaurs ate them. I said, I have a snake. I know what happens when reptiles eat bones. It's gross. She's like, go to the office.
Yeah. Well, have we ever found a fossil with the remains indicating the remains of a chewed up person in there?
No, but they did just find a fossil of a Triceratops locked into a fight with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They were both together in the same fossil.
So they're stuck in that Matrix move?
Yep.
Frozen in time.
But so two things I want to say here about...
Also, hold on. I need to go back and preface not humans as of now, but whatever we were then, whatever.
But no, I don't think there's ever been... If there has ever been hominids found alongside dinosaurs, it was probably either A, discounted as contamination, or B, kept quiet. Anyways, what I was going to say is, so number one, when we're looking for past, so this is, I think, what you were getting to, Stefan or Santosh, whichever one you said, our own biased. But whenever we're looking for past human civilizations, I think science is looking for less evolved us, right? They're looking for cave dwellers and hunter-gatherers and things. They're not looking for signs of at least evolved or higher evolved us. It's like they're looking for stone tools and clay pots.
Yeah.
And then number
But
two,
they do though. I mean, like that computer that they found under the water.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. So they are finding advanced things, but they don't know what to do with it. And so then a lot of times they'll just write it off and say that, whoever discovered the actual mechanics of it all is just pushing their hypothesis as opposed to whatever it really is.
Yeah. Well, it's, the whole world of science is just one big shitstorm. So everybody competing with each other for dominance. So, yeah. Anyways, the other point that I wanted to make is it seems odd to me that that dinosaurs are predicted to have been in such vast numbers that we only find the fossils that we find. Like, you would think that if anywhere we dug, we would find fossilized records.
Well, I mean, it takes a lot to fossilize something, so it's not. That makes sense.
Everything became a fossil.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of it became oil.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, not everything becomes fossilized. Like I said, it takes a lot.
Technically, even then, the thing itself is being replaced by minerals.
Right. It's not even the actual bones. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Right.
See, I'm not all dumb. Ha! Fuck you both.
I never thought you were all dumb. I thought you were half dumb.
I was going to say 2/3, but
it's just because you're standing on your head.
So yeah, those are my two topics. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
This has been the worst. Like me, chomping on my chocolate.
What about dinosaur bones underwater?
Well, it has to exist. There were oceanic dinosaurs. So
it doesn't have to exist necessarily.
It doesn't have to exist, but also the water levels that have changed since 165 million years ago. What is now underwater would have once been land. So if it is fossilized, it could now be submerged and didn't start out that way.
Mm-hmm.
It could have all started last Thursday. We know it's a simulation.
This is very true.
Yeah.
This is very true. I don't find it odd that there's a new Matrix movie coming out.
I don't either.
I'm really torn up about it too.
Because I feel there's this. I'm gonna throw all right, listen up, Stuvians. I'm gonna throw my theory out here right now that in the movie he's not playing Neo, he's playing Keanu Reeves.
No,
I'm dead serious because it's the simulation upon the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the metaverse right now and how everything's super fucking meta. And
so
I'm
ending
telling
of OA
you,
season 2.
Yeah, yes, bring back OA. But yes, I think that he's gonna end up being Keanu Reeves, realizing that he's dreamed about being Neo.
Well, there is,
or vice versa. Neo in the new reality that he's living in, he's Keanu Reeves. Because I was watching the first look on the Matrix Awakens game, and there's a scene in there that's very similar to the scene in the trailer. Because I went back and watched the trailer, and as he steps forward into the trailer, he's like, if you'll remember, he's like, "Whoa, I've been here before," right? In the game trailer, he says, "Well, I've been here before," and he turns and he goes, "I'm Keanu Reeves." And I'm like, I think that, so watch. That's my theory. I think that
my
extra
theory
level
is
of meta.
that his disembodied spirit has become more program-like and forgot itself. That's my.
I also love me some
think.
Jonathan Groff, so I'm super excited about that. But yes,
So
I like that as well.
Early on, when it was announced that they were doing Matrix 4 and John Wick 4, there was a fan theory floating around that they were one and the same. That
Neo is John Wick.
Yeah.
Or I mean, Ted Theodore Logan just got caught up in the time stream and he slipped into a pod and.
I'm telling you,
is
why they didn't end up writing the song.
Right. But I'm telling you, I think because it's all about the metaverse right now.
I hate that Facebook has taken the name Meta.
Oh,
I love the word meta, and it's about to get ruined on every damn body. And
it's because the new phase of the internet is called the metaverse, and they're going to own it. That's exactly why. I hate him, but he's smart.
I was like, do you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember an old show called VR5?
Oh, heck yeah. Love VR5.
Like, we're slowly creeping up on that technology.
Yep. We are, man. It's interesting, but yeah, metaverse is some real stuff, man.
Have you seen the gloves that apparently respond to like sound waves and can give you a different tactile experience to wear with the VR sets?
Have you seen the chest stuff, like stuff you wear on your body, and it actually pulsates? Like, so if you're playing a game and you get shot, it like dings on your body to make you feel like it. Reminds me of the movie Ready Player One. That's what it reminds me.
Well, it's a really interesting, and at this point, it'll be a month ago or whatever, but Chrissy Newton at the Debrief did a video interview with the guy that runs Moth and Flame and VR, which they do a lot of integrations and applications for VR. I mean, they have created the main stuff that's coming out and stuff like that. And it's a really interesting interview where they really talk about the future of the metaverse and stuff like that. It's fascinating. I highly recommend it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that the thing that I really liked about the gear and stuff in Ready Player One, and people need this badly today, is the omnidirectional treadmills that you could like strap yourself into. That way you could run around and everything without smashing into walls, punching your TV, punching your kid.
That's why you're supposed to sit in a chair, a swivel chair, but nobody does. Nobody does. It's all very interesting. That's
because I could see where I would want to have the sensation of moving, and you can't really do that while you're sitting in a chair.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You'll need to be strapped in though, hanging
until the new software hardware interface that plugs directly into your neck, so that way your body
which is the Matrix.
We're getting there close, because the next step is the AR augmentation, just from lenses, which move to contact lenses eventually, and
like Existenz gaming systems becoming body integrated as well.
Yeah.
So
boy, you just dropped a deep cut right there. I'm gonna have to watch that again. Oh man.
So we've talked about expanding technologies, alien underwater bases, and in the future of VR and AR. I think it's a good show.
I think it's a good show too, man. I'm really excited. Happy 2022, everybody.
Yep. Oh yeah, happy my birthday. It's coming up. It'll be over by the time this is out.
Numerically, it's a 6. That's a good number.
That is. Yeah, you turn that 6 upside down, it's a 9.
And 9 has a root of 3, so does 6. But
that's right. You turn that
9 was said by Tesla at one point, so that means lots of stuff.
And stuff is what Stay Puft is made out of.
Right? So you don't cross the streams and you don't think about the Marshmallow Man.
Right.
Yeah. We know this.
I mean, of all the people he could have thought about, I'm just glad it wasn't Mr. Peanut.
Oh no, that'd be nuts.
It would have been.
I don't know if that would be more formidable or less. I'm trying to really think about it.
He would have a really hard shell, though.
Arms, but he comes with a weapon.
Well, but he's also got that. He's got that monocle.
Oh yeah, if he pulls his monocle out underneath the sun, everybody's dead.
Oh, I didn't even think about
burning ants everywhere.
On fire like ants.
And his hat, he just covers you up.
Just covers you up. He's got that big cane. He can turn it around and use it like a putter.
Like the Bond villain, like metal things come out of the or that character on Mortal Kombat.
On Mortal Kombat 2, yeah.
But if it was Mr. Peanut, then they could have been like, shoot him in the nuts.
Yeah, well, they'd be like, it's the whole thing, right?
Yeah, but hold on. Does the Wolfman? Does Mr. Peanut have nards?
Ooh. Let's leave the Stuvians with that.
Technically, he is nuts.
He is nuts. He is nut. I don't know what the shell's going on, but something is.
Dad jokes aplenty are in here. So, all right.
Stop us
Thank
now
you
because
all.
I was headed towards Scrooge McDuck.
Which have you ever tried swimming in coins? It doesn't work out. The way.
Have you ever thrown them on your bed and just rolled on them?
Yes. I am like a cat when it comes to hard change.
It's hard for you to do.
That's what they throw at me at the strip club. They just throw rolls of pennies.
But they don't place them behind you or by you because you freak out when you turn around and see them laying there.
No, I jump. Or I trip over and blow my knee out again.
You
All right, we gotta go.
Homophobia.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in for this crazy show. 2022 going to be a good year, I think. We're really looking forward to all the stuff that we all have going on, as well as continuing Astral Stew. So thanks everybody again, and be sure to click that subscribe button, ring that bell, so you get the notifications when another one of these fantastic shows comes out.
Can't get rid of us that easy.
Everybody, Happy New Year!
And my birthday!